2, 1, let's go. And we're back with another condensed Go game. This one, speed match. We're going to fly through it because we're not really concerned with the individual moves, the little nuances, the itsy bitsy spider, one of a spout, all that stuff. The small stuff, we don't care. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at groups. We just want to see how many groups me and my opponent get. At the end of this game, just a teaser, one of us ends up with 6 groups. One of us ends up with 1. I don't know. We'll see if we can guess like halfway through and see if it played any kind of a role in how the game turned out. I mean, was it better to have a lot of little groups or one big group? So let's dive into it and find out. Black started. He's a 9 Caillou up against myself. White 10 Caillou at the time. And we each take a corner. And this is just kind of a steady Eddie game. So nothing crazy. Wouldn't say super conservative, but nothing, too aggressive either. This is just nice and easy. I don't think there were any huge swings. There were no huge battles where a giant group was killed off or anything like that. So it's pretty straightforward. We'll just play it through and see where these groups turn out. So now we're about a quarter of the way through the game. 50 moves in. I'll pause it here in a second. I'll fly through a couple more. All right, I don't know. We're move 68. So what do we got? I'm playing as white. Let's look at that. So it looks like we're going to have this upper corner. Maybe it's connected up here through that little stone there. We definitely have this upper left corner. That's looking pretty nice. This one, small but kind of peeking out into the middle. It's okay. This guy looks pretty safe too, I would say. Maybe a bit of threats down there. That could be threatened, put into Atari and eat up some of that space. And then clearly something going on down here. So right off the bat, if you can guess, it looks like I'm going to be the one with a lot of groups, right? Because then if we look at black, I mean, he's clearly got something going on here. Looks like another one up here, but that's actually all connected, right? So black's only at 2 groups. So if you guessed black having 1 group at the end of this, you'd be correct because I'm going to have 6 up against his 1. So let's carry on and see how this turns out. And just keep an eye on the groups, who's got influence in what area, who's eating up the territory, who's taking up more space, bigger footprint, bigger moves versus smaller moves. We jump up to the upper left now. Clearly I'm getting boxed in there, right? Like there's no way at this point that's a group on its own. It's never going to connect up to this larger group over here. It's just way too big of a space in there. Unless something crazy happens, we'd kill off one of these pretty big black groups, but don't expect that to happen. So where are we now? We're almost halfway through. Let's push it forward just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to stop it right there. That's a big move right there. There weren't a lot of big moves left. This right-hand side of the board has some space. But really, we're looking at the middle of the board, and it looks like I was trying to seal up a nice little circle there, and he threw in there, which I quite liked it. Just move it ahead a couple more, because then we ended up backing away. Move ahead like 3 or 4 moves. He's got these 2, which can play off each other. That's really well done. And now he's kind of split me, right up the gut. And he can either link up to the left, he can maybe link up through there, and he maybe can just live on his own without even connecting there, right? Because he's got enough space. And he can also kind of come out this way, and he's got a couple stones down here he can link up with. So I actually like what he did there, and it put the pressure on me to respond to that. But anyway, we kind of move away from that down to the lower right-hand side for a bit, and ignore those critical stones in the middle for some reason. So, and you'll see that plays an important part in the number of groups later, because he's got a group down here, he's gonna get a group here, he's got this technically one great big group up here. Not exactly sure how that's connecting. And now look at this though. We got this couple stones in the middle, and that's a short distance to travel to each one of these and link all these up. So then once you start doing that, you make them all safe. If this one's a little threatened but it links up to a bigger one that's safe, all of a sudden this one's guaranteed safety. So there's some benefit in doing that sometimes. Carrying on, almost halfway through. We'll fly through the last bit here. Like I said, the actual moves themselves, not super critical for this match. We just kind of want to see the outcome, how it all comes together. Flying through. 2/3 of the way through. He's attacking the left. Sealing off some stuff in the middle. A little bit of fighting there in the middle. Sealing up the edges. Now we're just kind of squabbling over the last free bits of territory. Not a whole lot left at this point. Getting pretty close to the end. I'm going to pause it right here. All right, so if we got a couple moves left, but I got one group up here. Second group in the upper right. This is actually one pretty decent sized group. Funny shape, but one big old group. We also have the lower left. And another one in the middle. And another one on the right-hand side. Now, right now, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 groups. Black, as you can see, has 2. Was I lying earlier when I said it was 6 to 1? We got one down here, bottom right. And this other one, this is all one huge group. I'm going to have trouble outlining this because it doubles back on itself and connects via single stone. See, look at that. One massive group plus this little guy on the right. So 2 groups to 6. What were you talking about earlier when you said it's only 1? Well, I screwed up right in here and I gave up a couple stones and that was the end of the game. So we both passed after move 266 and he ended up linking up in there, right? So now if I just kind of trace through the middle, this is all one group, right? And it connects through there, goes up there, goes over there. It's got these branches coming off. So black, one huge group, all interconnected. Myself, 6 groups. It looks pretty even without kind of diving into it. It looks pretty close. Estimate the score, white by 5 points. That was a tight game. Actually, I had a couple more. It might have been like 10. I'm going to go back. Let's re-estimate that, shall we? White by 5. It's given black 3 spaces up there for some reason. I could win those over. So I'd say by about 10 points. So pretty close game. And it really didn't matter about the groups, right? Because he had this one big, all-powerful group. And I had 6 little ones that could barely live on their own. Like this one up here, not a lot of space. This one down here, not a lot of captured territory. This one here, super small. This one here, not even that big. This one's okay, getting into a medium size. And then one, certainly medium size. But that's it. 6 little groups versus his one. Still win by 5 to 10 points. So sometimes it doesn't matter. As long as you have your eyes on your groups and they're safe, it's not a big deal. You can just take your territory where you can. That said, it is nice to link up your groups. If you have some that are a little bit under threat and you connect it to a big safe group, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's something I would advise. So until the next time, keep an eye on the groups. Be part of the group. Join the group. I don't know. Let's go.